Hey, Vikings Nation. Skol. Baby, the 2025 season is so close you can almost hear the Gellerhorn blasting at US Bank Stadium, with rookies reporting to training camp on July 20th and veterans joining on July 22nd. The Minnesota Vikings are gearing up for a season that's got us all buzzing. Today, we're diving into the latest Vikings news, from explosive roster additions to a rookie who could shake up the defense. Ready for the hype? Let's talk about the players who'll carry the purple and gold to glory. What's the vibe at TCO Performance Center? Pure electricity. The Vikings are coming off a 14-win 2024 season, but that playoff loss to the Rams left a chip on our shoulders. General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has been cooking, making bold moves to bolster the roster, especially on the defensive line and special teams. Stick with me for 10 jam-packed segments as we break down the new faces, injury updates, and a hyper-athletic draft pick who's got Brian Flores grinning ear to ear. Who's your breakout star this year? Drop it in the comments. From a revamped defensive line to special teams aces, this roster is loaded with potential. We've got surprises, question marks, and a whole lot of Skol spirit. So, grab your Vikings jersey, crank up the volume, and let's dive into the latest Minnesota Vikings news that's got us counting down to kickoff. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more Vikings updates. Let's get it. Hey Vikings fans, training camp is here, and the TCO Performance Center is about to be rocking. Rookies report on July 20th, and the full squad rolls in on July 22nd, signaling the start of our 2025 journey. After a 14-3 season that ended with a tough playoff loss, the Vikings are hungry, and GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has been making moves to keep us in the NFC North hunt. One of the biggest storylines? The defensive line is getting a major facelift. The Vikings have been aggressive, adding explosive talent like Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins to the mix. This isn't just about depth, it's about creating chaos for opposing quarterbacks. With Brian Flores' defense ready to dial up the pressure, these new additions could be the key to taking our D to the next level. So what's the buzz? Fans are hyped about the potential of this revamped roster, but there's still plenty to prove. Will our new defensive linemen live up to the hype? Can our special teams step up? Let's break it all down and see who's ready to make waves in purple. Who's your pick for the biggest training camp surprise? Sound off below. Skol, Vikings faithful. Let's talk about a name that's got everyone excited. Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins, our new defensive line stud. This rookie, drafted to add juice to our front, is a straight-line explosive force in a tall, lean frame. The Vikings' trend of bulking up the defensive line is clear, and Ingram-Dawkins is the poster child for that mission. Here's the deal. Ingram-Dawkins is a 3T/4I prospect who brings speed and disruption. The big question is whether he can handle the power of NFL interior linemen as a rookie. Long-term, he's got the tools to be a game-changer, but training camp will be his proving ground. If he can hold his own, Brian Flores might have a new toy to play with in his aggressive defensive schemes. Picture this. Ingram-Dawkins bursting through the line, chasing down quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers. That's the dream, right? But will he adapt quickly enough to make an impact in Week 1? Let me know in the comments what you think of our new D-line addition. Is he the missing piece for our pass rush? Skol. Vikings Nation. Let's shine a spotlight on our special teams. With Najee Thompson and Trent Sherfield gone, the Vikings are leaning on new faces to step up, and Tavierre Thomas is one to watch. This cornerback might not start on defense, but his value as a special teams gunner is huge. Matt Daniels' unit is looking to make a statement in 2025. Thomas thrives in the slot and as a special teams ace, bringing speed and tenacity. Brian Flores loves versatility, and Thomas fits the bill, especially with his ability to lock down punt coverage. The Vikings' special teams struggled at times last year, so adding a player like Thomas could be a game-changer for field position battles. Imagine Thomas flying downfield, pinning opponents deep on punts. That's the kind of energy we need. But can he carve out a role beyond special teams? What do you think, Vikings fans? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do we have a special teams superstar in the making? Yo, Skol Squad. Let's talk linebackers because Kobe King is turning heads. This sixth-round pick is a downhill thumper who's ready to smash runners in the backfield. Behind starters Blake Cashman and Ivan Pace Jr., King is battling for backup reps, and the Vikings are high on his potential. King's strength is his run-stopping ability, but his coverage skills need work. If he can grow in that area during training camp, he could become a three-down player. For now, he's poised to make an impact on special teams, where his physicality will shine. Brian Flores' defense loves aggressive playmakers, and King fits that mold. Can you see it? King stuffing a run on 3rd and short, firing up the crowd at US Bank Stadium. But will he crack the defensive rotation as a rookie? Let me know what you think of this linebacker gem in the comments. Is Kobe King our next defensive star? Skol. What's good, Vikings Nation? Let's dive into the wide receiver room, where things get tricky with Rondale Moore. This electric playmaker suffered a brutal knee injury last year with the Falcons, and we're still waiting for updates on his recovery. If he's healthy, Moore could be a weapon for the Vikings, both on offense and as a punt returner. Moore's speed and elusiveness make him a perfect fit for manufactured touches in Kevin O'Connell's offense. But with his injury clouding his status, training camp will be critical. If he's not ready, the Vikings might lean on other depth options, but a healthy Moore could add a new dimension to our attack alongside Justin Jefferson. Picture Moore jetting past defenders on a jet sweep or taking a punt to the house. That's the spark we're craving. But will he be ready for Week 1? Drop your predictions in the comments, Vikings fans. Can Rondale Moore make a big impact this season? Let's hear it. Skol, Vikings fans. Let's keep the receiver talk going with Tim Jones, our under-the-radar special teams replacement for Trent Sherfield. This former Jaguar might not be a household name, but his role as a depth receiver and special teams contributor is vital. The Vikings are all about versatility in 2025, and Jones fits the bill. Jones spent 3 seasons in Jacksonville, mostly shining on special teams. His ability to block and contribute on punt returns makes him a valuable asset. With the receiver room stacked with stars like Justin Jefferson, Jones' path to playing time is through special teams, but don't sleep on his potential to surprise. Imagine Jones making a game-saving tackle on a punt or hauling in a clutch catch. That's the kind of hustle we love. But can he secure a roster spot in a crowded receiver group? What's your take, Vikings Nation? Drop it in the comments and let's talk Tim Jones. Hey, Vikings faithful. Let's swing back to the defensive line, where the Vikings' offseason moves are making waves. Beyond Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins, the team has been aggressive in adding depth, with players like Taimani and Redmond in the mix. This group is built to disrupt, and Brian Flores is licking his chops. The Vikings' defensive line ranked 19th in sacks last season, so the front office doubled down on talent. Ingram-Dawkins' explosiveness pairs well with veterans like Jonathan Greenid and Andrew Van Ginkel, creating a versatile front. Training camp will show us how these pieces fit together, but the potential is sky-high. Can you feel it? Our D-line collapsing pockets and making life miserable for opposing QBs. But who's the biggest X-factor on this line? Let me know in the comments, Vikings fans. Are we building a top 10 defense in 2025? Skol Nation. Let's talk about Christian Darrisaw's comeback. Our star left tackle tore his ACL last season, but he's already back on the field, eyeing a Week 1 return. This is huge for protecting rookie QB J.J. McCarthy and keeping our offense humming. Darrisaw's all-pro potential is undeniable. Darrisaw's recovery timeline is aggressive, just 9 months post-injury, but his work ethic and the Vikings training staff have him on track. Paired with Brian O'Neill, our tackle duo is one of the NFL's best. The addition of rookie Donovan Jackson on the interior only strengthens our O-line. Picture Darrisaw stonewalling edge rushers, giving McCarthy time to find Jefferson. That's the formula for success. But will Darrisaw be 100% by the season opener? Drop your thoughts in the comments, Vikings fans. How big is his return for our offense? Let's go. What's up, Vikings crew? Let's zoom in on our special teams, where Andrew DePaula and Will Reichard are holding it down. DePaula's consistency as a long snapper is unmatched, and Reichard's rookie season showed promise despite some ups and downs. These guys are the unsung heroes of our 2025 squad. Special teams can make or break close games, and the Vikings know it. With new additions like Tavier Thomas and Tim Jones, Matt Daniels' unit is getting a boost. Reichard's leg strength and DePaula's precision give us an edge, but training camp will test their chemistry. Imagine Reichard drilling a 50-yard field goal to win a divisional game. That's the clutch factor we need. But can our special teams be a top 10 unit this year? Let me know in the comments, Vikings Nation. Who's your special teams MVP? Skol. Alright, Vikings Nation, let's wrap this up with the big picture. The 2025 Minnesota Vikings are loaded with talent, from a revamped defensive line to special teams upgrades and a recovering Christian Darrisaw. With J.J. McCarthy taking the reins and training camp kicking off, the Skol spirit is stronger than ever. Every move, Ingram Dawkins, Thomas, King, and more, shows the Vikings are all in for a deep playoff run. But questions remain. Can our rookies step up? Will our special teams flip the field? Training camp starting July 20th will give us the first clues, and I'm hyped to see it unfold. Vikings fans, this is our year. Drop your bold predictions for 2025 in the comments. Who's breaking out? Smash that like button, subscribe for more Vikings news, and share this with your Skol squad. Let's ride to the Super Bowl together. Skol Vikings!